That might work. Can we hear each other now?
That might work.
There we go. Right, hello. I'll start that once again, should I? Teething problems. Haven't done this in a while. Hello, everybody. This is Andrew from Flawless Rage 2. I'm not back. This is not me returning or anything. I'm doing this live stream tonight to talk about a serious topic that I'll get into. And hope you guys can listen and see where I'm coming from. So, yeah, I'll just see if anyone arrives. I just need to go and buy the new bloody house again, so I can do something to that. Broadcast a house I haven't broadcast before, you know? It's like, fuck. So, yeah, right, summer house with a pool, let's do it. I'm not saying I'm going to get the entire fucking house done in one stream, but, you know, this is only a one streamer. Like I said, I'm not back. I know I said that a lot with a few live streams recently and stuff, but with, you know, things going on, with celebrities especially, you want to pay tribute. So that's what I've done. If I sound echoey, by the way, I'm in my new living room, which is huge. And even though it's got stuff in it, it's still very, very, very echoey and acoustic. So, yeah, just be wary of that if you hear like an echo in the background. Also, I've got my fan on as well, so you may hear that because it's been fucking hot. Right, okay, so we'll start doing a little bit to this house. We'll see if anybody comes in, and then we'll start talking about the subject for tonight. So I hope everybody's had a good day out there. It's been bloody hot here today. Really hot. I mean, fucking hot. Hotter than hot, you know. But I like it. I love it. I think it's brilliant when they get nice warm days. So, yeah, this house came out in the recent update. I have done it before. I did all the mission, you know, and got it all together and stuff. But, yeah, you know, we're going to turn it into something a little different to what it is, especially, you know, now. So, yeah, let's get everything cleared up. Yeah, I haven't done House Flipper in a while. I mean, I've been playing it, but it's nice to be streaming it again, you know? You know, I mean, yeah, sure, I could make a return, but nobody wants that, do they? No, I decided I was basically, you know, sticking to my guns there. I'm not back. I'm just doing like this odd one-off. There might be a few one-offs. The thing what's getting to me a bit is sort of like, you know, the Christmas time streams. I used to do a whole bunch of them, and now I just don't. You know, now I'm not doing them. So, yeah, but we do have, you know, a good topic to talk about tonight. Well, I say good. It's quite a devastating one, really. And to anybody it's happened to, then it could also be, you know, quite devastating as well. So stick around for it because we'll be talking about it really, really soon. So, yeah, let's get into that in just a few minutes here. Okay, so I want to put some windows in here, I think. There we go. We just made another room out of the garage. How wonderful. This house is fucked. It really is. I mean, what the hell? I also like the new addition of the flies buzzing around all the shit that's been left out. I think that's quite a nice touch. Just see what we've got to play with here. So there's a room there, a room there. Right, okay. Well, I'm not necessarily sure that the living room needs to be that big. Even though my living room is fucking humongous. That's the thing about my new house, right? This isn't the topic, by the way. I'm just telling you this. That's the thing about my new place. It's like, I mean, this is an old house. It is an old house, and it's, you know, but it used to be sort of like, it's been modified over the years before we moved in it, where there used to be a living room and then what looks to be a dining room. And there also used to be a hatch in the wall. That's all been covered in and done up and everything. So that's not here anymore. But you can see where it was still. And they've basically merged what used to be a dining room and a living room into one massive living room. So it's fucking, I mean, this room could have so much going for it. It really could. But yeah, pretty damn cool if you ask me. I love this house. I love living here. It's great. Okay, so I don't suppose we can really put it off any longer because I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this for tonight, but we will get into this topic just now. So tonight we're going to be talking about a topic that's happened to a member of my family recently. And it's to do with scammers. Now, out there is so many different types of scammers. There is scammers who phone you up and say there's things wrong with the computer. There's people who phone you up and sort of like, you get an email through and they say that there's a money owing on something, and then sort of like they want you to go and, give your details over to them and then fucking take every single thing you've got. First of all, don't do it. Second of all, that's not the topic. That's not the type of scam we're talking about here tonight. The type of scam we're talking about here tonight is romance scamming. It's happened to a member of my family recently. So the person in my family was married. Well, basically, technically still is. And this person basically is a miserable git, miserable old cunt. Don't really, never really gave her any attention. No love, affection, anything like that, and yet they're supposed to be husband and wife. Well, because of that, basically this person was just sort of like, scrolling through Facebook one day and had this friend request come up from this guy who she didn't even know, but sort of like was, started chatting to her. And at first, it seems all innocent and stuff. And basically, because I'm going to name and shame the cunt, fuck him, because it's not even a real name anyway. The guy called himself Dave Emplett, and apparently he had a son, Clinton. These people do not exist, right? He was basically talking to this person in my family and was like, oh, you're so beautiful, you're this, you're that, and then, this, that, and the other. Now, apparently, this guy was on an oil rig in Norway, and was sort of like, having trouble with internet and stuff like that. Also, his, hand quotes, son was 14 years old. Apparently, he lost his mother, and so, yeah, basically that's the story. That's the setup. So then it comes along where this person is sort of like talking to my family member, and is sort of like saying how they look like a nice person and everything, and oh, he's on an oil rig and his card isn't working, his bank card doesn't work and stuff, and one thing and another. And he then sort of like said, oh, he kept the conversation going for a little while, as they do. And then sort of like he said, oh, my bank card isn't working, I can't get my son anything for his birthday. Could you please, could you help out? to this family member of mine, and this family member would do anything for anybody, really would. Give them, she'd give you the, back off her shirt, the shirt off her back, I should say, she really would. And is a kind, generous person, always likes to see the good in people, but is also, this person is, not a spring chicken, but, and hasn't had no affection and stuff, and this person was showing affection, so she thought, yeah, I'll help you out. And he said, okay, can you, this is the big red flag, can you please send me a £150 Apple gift card? And there's the big fucking no-no right there. Now, these scammers get money different ways. It could be Amazon gift cards. It could be, Apple gift cards. It could be something like even through PayPal, things like that. If you ever are on an online dating site or even on social media, whether it be WhatsApp, whether it be Facebook or anything, and you start talking to somebody and they ask you for money, male or female, and it's a gift card thing, that sort of thing, do not do it. You are going to be scammed. Now, the person in question did it, believed the lie, and did it. So the scammer got his first 150 quid, and that's what they do. They start small. And then they sort of after that, then they sort of said about how they loved this person in my family, how they really, really loved them, and they want to be together with them. They make them so happy and all this fucking bullshit. And the person in my family really fell for it. And when I was told about it, I was like, at first I was sort of like, well, someone's being nice to her after all these years of living with a miserable wanker, then, go for it. But then I didn't realize that she was going to send him some money. So, it's carried on. And, they say they work on an oil rig. And then sort of they let a little time pass, saying they love you and everything, and they want to be with you, and they're gonna come to see you and all this fucking shit. That's not the case. It's not gonna happen. It's a scam to get cash out of you. It's a scam to get money out of you through Apple gift cards. What they do with them, I don't know. I've heard that they maybe turn them into crypto or something. I don't know. But, yeah, it's a big sort of red flag there. We've informed authorities. We've phoned the bank and told them not to let the person draw any money out, because £150 turned into £250, and then £250 turned into £500, and every single time it is sort of oh, I need money to keep the internet going so we can keep talking, but I'm stuck out here on an oil rig. Can you help? And then you send them money, and then they somehow cash it in, and then there you go. Hey presto, they've got internet. Okay. Now, what you need to know, and what I've learned, is oil rigs, basically as standard these days, come with internet, so you can contact your friends and family at home. You don't have to pay for it. It's part of the process of sort of being there kind of thing, as part of the deal to get internet. This person fell for a hook, line and fucking sinker. And then after a couple of days, they didn't hear nothing off this person. And then they phoned me up and says, I think I might have been scammed. And I go, thank God you've realised it. Now, this is where this person has went wrong. They've given an email address, their email address. They've given their mobile telephone number, and also their life story about when they get money, what they get and stuff. That's a huge no-no. This person is on a pension, and every time before pension day is due, the scammer will contact her and will be sort of like, oh baby, oh honey, I love you, kissy kissy, la la la, whatever the fuck. Because they know it's pension day and maybe they can get another 250 quid Apple gift card, 500 quid Apple gift card. And if anybody from Apple is watching this, right, please stop these fucking Apple gift cards, seriously. Okay? That's the scammer's preferred method, and they seem to be fucking, you know, you're ripping fucking families apart by inventing these things, okay? So, you know, make it sort of like scam proof. Also, I'd like to hear from anybody out there who is or has worked on an oil rig, and let me know what the deal is. You know, you should get internet as standard. Now, the plot thickens. Oh, we ain't fucking done yet. The person in question has blocked the scammer a couple of times. And then sort of like has started believing what we've been telling them all along, that this person is a wanker of a fucking scammer. And then sort of like, you know, you get them deleted, you get them blocked, but the big no-no, the big problem, they have the phone number. So you can block them through WhatsApp because that's their preferred method of talking as well, because you may have seen the TV adverts on WhatsApp, everything's encrypted. You can't see it. So that then presents another problem. You know, what do you do? The only real way of getting rid of them is to change your phone number. Now, the person in my family has bought into this lie of this person is in love with them and all of this crap, and you know, has bought into it so much that they've been refusing to change their phone number. In the chat, my brother Boston's in. What's up, bro? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all good. Fantastic to see you. And, you know, this fucking scammer has been sort of like, you know, we tell them the truth and we present the evidence, me and the other members of my family, to the person who's being scammed. We've presented evidence that this person isn't fucking real, and then sort of like the scammer gets in your ear, and then sort of like, oh no, it's, you know, what their favorite thing of saying is sort of like, oh yeah, there's somebody taking my identity and using my picture on different websites and stuff like this. That is bollocks. I'd also like to give a massive shout out to Al Vasquez, who is the person who's fucking, you know, this picture whose scammer has been dealing with. My brother says, great to see you. Good to see you too, bro. How's life treating you? Well, I'm explaining how life's treating me at the minute, brother. I'm dealing with a person in my family dealing with a romance scam, and they just couldn't see the truth. Now, you know, these fuckers will say anything to you. They'll lie to you about where they are. They'll lie to you about where they are and stuff. Now, this person said, this scammer person said that he was American. He's not American. I fucking know an American voice. He is not American. Americans don't say baby like bibi. So there you go. He sounds more French. And I've heard a recording of him. And they just feed you a bunch of bullshit like they really love you and stuff like that, and they just don't. I've been trying so hard to persuade this person in my family to, you know, change their number and stuff like that, and they've just been, up until now they've been resilient, but today they made a promise to me. I mean, they made promises before in the past that they'll never talk to them, and they have. So, you know, nice one, brother. You know, but it's, you know, it really is a huge problem. Now, the scammer will make you think that, you know, make you have to be theirs and theirs alone. They don't really. Sometimes they don't really want you talking to other people, and when you call them a scammer, you know, I mean, this person in my family has actually said to this guy, you know, are you a scammer? Well, of course he's going to fucking say no. But sort of like, you know, apparently he's sick and tired of people calling him a scammer when he's not one. He works on a fucking oil rig. He was going to come and see her on the 19th. He's going to leave the oil rig and come over on the 19th of August and see her. And that never happened. Then it was going to be the 21st of August. That's not happening. And now it's going to be the 31st of October. And that, we all know, isn't going to happen. Nobody's fucking showing up. And I've been trying to explain this to my family member, that this person is not coming over. And so far, basically, to give you the long and short of it, this person is on her own. She is getting on in years. She's 75 years old. So she's vulnerable. And like I said, married to a miserable old bastard who she's not with anymore. He's gone. And that, but he never gave her any affection. So that's what we're dealing with here. So far, this person in my family has lost £3,500 to a scammer. Also has sort of like, you know, put the scammer first before their children. And, you know, their children, a couple of their children have fallen out with them. In a way, rightfully so, because this person sort of like, you know, has been believing every single word that this guy says. He's not American. He's not even a genuine person. He doesn't have a son. And that's also another thing I'll mention. Because this person was fucking silly and went and gave their email out, if you block him, they can still get in contact with you for email. However, it's his alleged son, Clinton, who calls himself Clinton Gerhard, right? Who basically, you know, is this, you know, apparently this scammer's son. You don't get in contact. You block the scammer and you deal with that. And he's got your phone number, which you shouldn't give out. And then he'll contact you with it on a different fucking number or through an email posing as somebody else. And this alleged kid has been calling sort of like this person their mum and stuff like that, and one thing and another. And it's been like, what? You know, it really is a fuck up. She's fell out with two of her children. One of her other children is, you know, just feels really sorry for her and wants her to realize what it is she's doing and to stop. And her other child has, you know, has been putting up with it. And because she's on her own, they've been ringing them up about 4 times a day to check out, you know, check on them, see how they are and stuff. I mean, this person who's being scammed has also, you know, I've known them to be on the phone to the scammer when their kid has tried to ring them, and they decline the child's call to talk to the scammer. It's ridiculous. Now, the good news is, I mean, this person doesn't like lies. Okay, she doesn't like lies, but has been kind of lying herself to her children because of, you know, because she was apparently going to have this wonderful fantasy lifestyle where she'll never have to pay for anything again, and this and that and the other. And it's just been one thing after a fucking another with it. These fuckers destroy families, okay? They will take every single bit of money you have. They're never going to come and see you. All right? They're never going to show themselves because they're too fucking gutless and spineless to, you know, to do that. And also, if they offer to send you a package, do not fucking accept it. You know, they all they do really is They don't love you. They love your money, and they love it through the form of Apple gift card. Like I said, some people use PayPal. Some other scammers want you to give banking information. Do not give anything like that out. Okay, ever. It's been really hard for their family. Like I said, she has a son who she still talks to, only just though, because even recently I know for a fact that he's been wanting to give up, and is sick of dealing with it. I mean, when she was with her husband, who isn't there anymore, she used to speak to her son a couple of times a week. A couple of times a week just to see how things were and everything. But now it's a completely different thing. Now it's every single day. And when sort of like he doesn't want to hear about this scammer and how wonderful this fucking scammer is, this person still talks about it, even though the son has requested not to hear about him. Because at the end of the day, he's fed up with it. He doesn't want to know. Boston says, I'll send them a package of confetti with a cannon. Around about 5,000 miniature dicks will go off as soon as they open it. Do you know what? That'd be fucking amazing. Honestly, though, these bastards are everywhere. Everything these days is, there are so many scammers out there, and you really, truly do have to be careful. And it's not worth losing your family, your children over, for somebody who's never going to be there, who's never going to come and see you, who promises you the world. And yeah, sure, everybody wants love. Of course they do. Everybody would love to have a partner to be with, for life, a life partner. Now, I'm thankful in that respect that I already have that. I've had that for the past 20 odd years, and loving every fucking second of it, even to this day. But sort of like it's, you're getting these fucking arseholes who are just trying to get money out of you. And everything's an excuse with them. When they say they're coming to see you, there's always something that comes up. They can't get a flight. They can't do this. They can't do that. Now, the recent one of this particular scammer who's targeting my family member, like I said they were on an oil rig, right? And at first they said they were finishing their contract early, which I don't think you can do. And to get them off the oil rig and get them to Oslo Airport, it was going to cost, to get a helicopter, £7,500. £7,500. Now, my family member doesn't have that type of money. Doesn't have £7,500, and has even told them so many times, I can't afford to send you any money. I've got my own bills to pay and stuff like that. But a scammer doesn't give a fuck. A scammer just wants as much cash as they can fucking get. And, I'm trying sort of like to, I mean, I honestly have nearly lost my rag with this person so many fucking times myself, It's been upsetting their kids. It's been making their kids fucking ill. One of her daughters has actually been feeling physically fucking sick when she thinks about sort of like the amount of money that their basically mother has lost, due to this online scammer, this fucking romance scam. And it really does tear families apart. It really does. The scammer will end up coming before anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, whatever. No matter how close you are with your children. And if it's a fucking scammer involved, you ain't going to have your children long, because, they have to be your priority. They have to be your number one, because they're offering you such a wonderful, beautiful, perfect life with flowers and rainbows and fairies bringing you fucking tea in the morning. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And it's sad. It really is sad in a way that somebody could feel so lonely where they trust in somebody and give their information out to somebody, thinking that they've met somebody and it's going to be like this romantic fucking scene from some rom-com, you know, and that when it's just not, it's never going to be like that. Now, this Boston says, better be coffee when it comes to me or bitch, they're going to die. Well, there is that. But when it comes to this, scammer who's been targeting my family member, they've been saying they were going to come over on the 21st of this month, August, which, as we know, is bollocks, right? And we know it's not going to happen. We've told them it's not going to happen, but you're going to find the victim doesn't want to hear it. They don't want you to talk about them. They don't want, because they know in their heart of hearts that they're never going to come up and they're never going to show. They know it's not going to happen, but they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth, because when they're under a scammer's power, when they're under sort of like, you know, the influence of a scammer, they just don't want to hear anything horrible about them or anything like that. But you have to hit them with the fucking truth. Now, this guy was going to come, and apparently there was a fire on his oil rig. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, right? There was a fire on his oil rig, apparently. Now, I've been around to see this family member since they was told there was going to be a fire on an oil rig, and they was sent a video of the oil rig burning. It's AI. There is no sound to it, and you can always tell an AI video. An older person can't. They see a video, they think it's real. They don't know what the fuck AI is, right? So they've been thinking that this is real, and that when it's just not, all it is simple AI, which fucking somebody needs to rein the fuck in, by the way, because it's getting a bit fucking much. Yeah, they're just sort of like, I mean, this person is besotted with this guy, and he's not even a real person. His name is not Dave Emblett. He doesn't even come from, the US. He comes from, fuck, I don't know where. He sounds French, but he could even, a lot of them are in Nigeria. So it could be someone from there. We don't know. We don't know his exact location. And he has been reported to the authorities. But because this person keeps fucking talking to him in my family, I think the authorities have kind of given up with it and closed the case, because you can't help people who don't want to be helped, But yeah, this video they sent was, you can tell it was AI. And I've even spoken to them and said, look, this video is AI and it's not real. But they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. According to them, it's real. And he's, got to get off the oil rig to hospital, which is going to cost money, by the way. Money that they're expecting this family member of mine to fund. And yeah, it's kind of just, it's all one big fucking con. It really is. One big monster con. And I honestly don't know how these people get away with it. I truly don't know how the fuck they honestly get away with this shit, because how the fuck can they, when sort of like, how can they, obviously it can't be legal. It's not fucking legal. Surely it's not, but you can't tell people who don't want to be helped, and that's been the problem. But just recently, as in the last couple of days, there has been an almighty fucking war in the family, talking about this guy. And the person in question has basically promised, even though they've promised once before they'll never talk to him, they've promised they won't talk to him again, and they will change their telephone number, which they were very resilient to do to start off with. Now, I hope they keep their promise, because if not, I know their son isn't going to be very fucking happy, and they'll probably lose him. That is how bad it's got. I'm just hoping, like I say, they keep their promise. Now, he is willing to go make the trip up to where his mum lives, and go and help her sort things out. and get the number changed, get the scammer gone completely. Because while he's got the phone number, he's going to keep fucking ringing and ringing and ringing, and then it's going to be sweet talk after sweet talk after sweet talk, and that's what they do. You can get the person in your family believing every single goddamn word you say. One conversation with a scammer, and then that automatically believe in them again. Because they've got the words. They've been doing it for years. They've got the words. They've got the tools to say sort of like, no, this isn't right. You know, this. I'm not a scammer. I'm not this. I'm not that. When they clearly fucking are. And you know, it really, truly, honestly does destroy families. It really does. Now, the daughter who is not talking, or one of the daughters who is not talking to her mum because of this guy, is, you know, really, really done. She's done with her mother because she can't sit back and watch this happen to her mum when sort of like her mum won't believe the truth. You know, and she's tried to tell her and tell her and tell her. And she's even contacted people like the fraud team and stuff like that. But that's been a bit of a bust, really. That hasn't really worked out because, like I said, they've given up on the case. So, and I think that's because this person's still talking to this scam artist. And that's why I'm doing this live stream tonight, to basically warn you of sort of like what these people do and what they're like. These people who randomly, you know, who randomly contact you on things like Facebook and stuff, you know, yeah, sure, becoming friends with somebody is absolutely fine, but you've got to be so careful. If they start asking for money, that is your, you know, your red flag to get the fuck up out of there. Get away from it as quick as you possibly fucking can. It's not worth it. They don't love you. They love your money. They really do. And sort of like, you know, how do you even go about in, you know, persuading a person to, for all intents and purposes, you know, start believing in you and not them? It's a hard job. It really is. I've been struggling with it with this family member. Their kids have been struggling with it. And it's a really, really hard thing to do when they've told lies. They're told, you know, these false things, like you never have to worry about money again. You never have to do this. You never have to do that. I love you, baby, and all that crap. It's bullshit. They're only after your, you know, or certainly in my case, my family members' money, which they don't have a lot of. Like I said, this person in my family is a pensioner, and they only get a certain amount of money each and every single month. You know, and and out of that has to come money to pay bills and stuff. So when there's billing to be paid and, you know, things like that, and then you got a scammer going in to sort of like, you know, going to them and sort of like badgering them and literally pestering them for money, it becomes a bit of a fucking issue. It really does. And, you know, but this person has, you know, I've spoken to them today. They seem to have realized once again that this person's a scammer, and they've promised to change their phone number, and I'll sort all the phone out for them when I see them. And I hope they stick to it. I really do. I hope they fucking stick to it because, like I said, some of their kids, they're not talking to them because it hurts them to see their, you know, their mum get hurt, you know? And, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, you do feel fucking helpless because you're like, how can I stop this? What can I do? Now, I know that the son phoned the actual, his mum's bank and told them basically sort of like there might be someone coming in today to draw some money out. This person's being scammed. Please don't let them have any money or, you know, sort of like limit what they can have. And, you know, the bank actually did take action. And sort of like when they went in to draw this money out, they were called in. to the office, and the police were called out and everything. It became a big thing. It really did. It became a bit of a thing. And, they didn't know who did it. I know who did it because I know for a fact who did it because I basically was told. And, they were just trying to protect their mum at the end of the day to not be fucking scammed. It's so sad when you think about it that somebody wants love, wants attention, to feel valued so much that they will, give everything they have to somebody who isn't who they say they are, somebody who they will never meet, just to, it's really wrong. It really is so fucking wrong on 1,000,001 different fucking levels. Now, this person, there are so many of them about. There's not just this one guy. There's fucking thousands of the cunts. There really is. And you do have to be really, really careful when it comes to them. They don't work on an oil rig. They're probably shacked up in a fucking office or something somewhere where there's 3 or 4 of them. And they're all working on the same scam together. That's just the truth of it. And I've watched so many romance scam videos on, YouTube and that, trying to get information about what these people are like, what they do, how they get their money. Well, that's not their fucking money. They're basically, at the end of the day, scammers are thieves. Let's just cut to the fucking chase. Scammers are thieves. They, they will take you for every single fucking piece, every single cent you have. They want it. They don't give a fuck what they have to say or do to get it. Give you false hope, false promises, and everything just to get your money into their fucking account, so then they can turn it into. I've heard of like Bitcoin and stuff like that. And I don't know how that currency kind of works, but it's such a fucking shame when it happens to people, to innocent people. People who don't have much as it is, who never really had much growing up, like this family member of mine, and, are being fucking scammed out of every cent they have because they're told, this person has told them that they'll pay them every cent back and that they love them and that, and they keep calling you fucking baby and stuff. First of all, a 75-year-old shouldn't be calling anybody baby. It's like, it's really, really triggering. It's really, really sad that somebody would go and believe, that shit just to feel valued, just to feel wanted, And I completely get that. I really do get where, sort of like they're coming from, where this family member of mine is coming from when they sort of like say, that they love this person, they're always going to love this person, It's not real. It's not fucking real. Please, for the love of God, anybody out there who's listening, even if this stops one person getting scammed, I'll be happy. And if you know somebody who's currently being fucking scammed and you don't know what to do, you need to basically, it's difficult. It really is difficult, but you need to show tough love. You need to show tough love to, your family member and show them that they're being scammed. Prove to them that they're being scammed. Boston says, well, it's really hard for scammers to get to me because I'm usually on top of my mother, so it won't happen to her. Well, there you go. You've got to be so fucking careful, though. Now, their preferred method, as I've said, is to contact through WhatsApp because it's all encrypted, and the TV adverts over here are sort of like Not everybody can. Nobody can see what you write on WhatsApp. It's all private. Videos, messages, voice messages. It's all private. And so, if it's all private and it's all encrypted, then sort of like police can't go digging through and finding the evidence, saying sort of like that this person is what they are. I have to admit, scammers are very, very wrong, but very, very clever. They're really, really clever about what they do. I mean, they're scamming. And it's not just your family member or whatever they're scamming. They're probably doing it to hundreds of innocent victims every day. It's not just women that get scammed either. Men get scammed as well. You'll notice the women the men who get scammed are always a picture of like a really, really hot, gorgeous woman, and then the women who get scammed, they're sort of like a, kind of like a handsome man kind of picture on there. That picture is probably stolen off somebody's random Facebook or something, which has been proven in the case of my family member that it is somebody on Facebook. This person claims that they're American. Well, the real person is Spanish, lives in Mexico. We presented the evidence to this person as well in my family, and once again, it's kind of fallen on deaf ears. At first they believed it. I was like, right, I'm getting his fucking ass blocked and stuff like that. And then because they have the phone number, this guy calls on a different number, and then it's back in the fucking trap. It's really, really difficult to deal with, and anybody who does deal with it, you need to basically my advice to dealing with it is very simple. If your family member has given out personal information like email addresses, telephone numbers, house address, that kind of thing. House address you can't do much about unless you move. But sort of like the email and telephone number, that one's easy. You need to get them to understand that you're not picking on them, because they think you are. They think you're trying to break up the relationship, even though there's no real relationship there. They think you're trying to do that. So get them to realize that this is a scam. They're being taken for a fucking fool. And, get them basically a brand new email address set up, and log out of the other one, get rid of the other one as quick as you possibly can. Get them a new email address set up so they can still sort of like get emails from like places where they've got like billing companies, or if they get appointments or something that come through email, get them a new one set up. It's imperative that they don't really give their phone number out. If they do, then they need a brand new phone number. All to be, sorted out. You need to nip it in the bud as quick as possible, and you need to reassure them that you're there to support them. You are there to support them. You're not trying to hurt them. You're not trying to ruin any relationship, but you need to make them realize that the relationship that they think they're in is not a relationship, is not real. They're never going to meet this person. They are being 110 million % scammed. Now, I am hoping and praying for my family member's sake, because they have actually been, my family member who's been scammed has actually been to hospital today and hasn't been feeling very well at all. Their son had to call out an ambulance to him this morning, and one thing and another. And I'm hoping that they keep their word and they keep their promise and get rid of this fucking scammer and change the phone number sooner rather than later. Now, because their son doesn't really know too much in the way of tech, I've offered to step in and help, because, it's still a family member of mine at the end of the day. So I'm more than happy to meet them. And this person's on contract with a telephone network over here in the UK called Vodafone. They're on a contract with them, so they pay so much a month for their phone and also the calls and data and shit like that. So they need to. I hope that they're going to change their phone number, because as you're on contract, you hopefully should get that for free. Get a new phone number. Get this person off their phone and out of their lives for good. I'm hoping, though, like I said, this person's been in a hospital today, and I'm hoping this scammer doesn't contact them and is like, baby, 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 and fucking sweet talking, and then sort of like, and then they fall into the trap again. Because if they do that, I know for a fact their son, or her son, I should say, is done. 100% done. And that might be sort of like, well, they're going to keep getting scammed if you don't help them. Some people don't want to be helped. Some people are sort of like way too, are beyond help. They really are, because they're bought into so many lies from these fucking arsehole fucking scammers. The only advice that I can really give is that what I've just said to you guys. So please bear it in mind. If anything happens in that regard to any family member of yours, you need to reassure them that sort of like they've done nothing wrong, because at the end of the day they haven't. They thought they were met a nice person. They thought they were falling in love with somebody. It's just not the case. It's just not the case at all. You need to reassure them, though, that they're the victim at the end of the day, which is true. They are 100% the victim. It's not their fault that they fell for, the lies and the bullshit. They thought they had met a nice person. It's such a fucking sad thing as well. And yet these scammers are wankers. They literally are the biggest cunts walking the face of God's green earth. They really are. They have no morals. They have no conscience. They don't care who they hurt or what they do, as long as they fucking scam you for Apple gift cards and money to, to fund their own bullshit or do whatever the fuck they do with them. I don't know what scammers do with them. Like I said, I've heard about crypto being sort of like, trade them in for crypto and stuff, but I'm not entirely sure. I thought Apple gift cards you could only use in the country of origin that you buy them. So I don't know, but yeah, there's so much that comes with this scam and others that you look at it and you're like, are you fucking serious right now? How in the fuck? But unfortunately, it does happen, and it's still happening, and it's going to keep happening until sort of like, they're all found out. Now, I watch Scammer Payback on YouTube here. Massive shout out to Pierogi. They don't deal with romance scams, unfortunately. There's one that does, which is social catfish, but that seems to be a US-based thing. And there's so many people on there. You see so many poor victims on there who have been scammed out of hundreds of thousands of pounds, or over there, dollars. So much money they've been scammed out of because they've thought they met a nice person, believed the lies, And it's just not a real thing. It will never be a real thing. It is absolutely terrible. It really is. That things like this happen to good, innocent people. And it needs to be stopped, and it needs to be fucking stopped now, These people have no fucking conscience, And you might think sort of like your family member is sort of like, well, if you can't accept it, you don't want me to be happy. You're trying to ruin my relationship. It's a new relationship, and things like, oh, he really loves me and stuff like that. Just reassure them that it's bollocks, and try your hardest to get through to him. It's fucking frustrating. It's fucking hard work. You need to reassure them, though, that they're the victim here, and hopefully, I mean, that's also another thing of romance scams. You can't really go to their local bank and get any cash back, even if they have been scammed, because unfortunately, they've done it willingly, sent cash willingly, or sent money over willingly. And you know, because of that, a bank will not refund any money. Now this person has, all she has is a few little, a little bit of money to see her through. Her husband doesn't live there anymore. He's gone. He's out of the picture, which in a way is a good thing. That's really good that he's gone, because he never cared for her any fucking way. He just wanted a skivvy. So it's good that he's out of the way. But yeah, it's so fucking sad. It really is. But it's also very fucking frustrating because, like I say, you've got to work so hard to try and convince somebody who's under a scammer's spell, if you will, that they are the victim and they are being fucking scammed. There's so many of them. There's so many romance scams and stuff like that out there. And romance scams, in a way, I think are the worst. Because there's these people in direct contact with somebody, sort of like pestering for money. And you're thinking, yes, okay, I'll do it because you're going to pay me back. They ain't paying you shit back. They make out that they're multimillionaires and they're on an oil rig in fucking Norway and that they're going to be coming off very soon and they're coming for you and you're going to live a wonderful, happy life and buy a house and get a swimming pool built in the back garden and you're going to have 2 lovely dogs running around the yard and you're not going to have any more worries about paying any bills or anything ever again, and you're going to have a luxurious car and the life that you so deserve. It's bollocks. It's not fucking real. The sooner, and the sooner you can get your relative or whoever it is to realize that, honestly, the better, because, like I've said, these wankers, these scammers, convince people so fucking easily through clever words and master manipulation that they destroy families. I don't know if my family member's daughter is ever going to speak to her again because of some things that she's sort of like, things that her mother has said about her and also to her as well. I don't know if they're ever going to speak to them again because they were really nasty, horrible things that they said. Now, their mother is sorry that they've said it. They regret saying it. They really do. But, it's always sort of like left there for your family members and that to pick up the pieces when something like this happens. But you do have to do it because they really, truly do need a lot of support. They really do. I mean, I don't know how many more times I can drill home. If you do you think this is happening to somebody, try and persuade them. And it's fucking so hard work. They may refuse, like my family member did, to change the phone number and stuff like that. They might refuse it all. You've got to reassure them and tell them sort of like, you're not the one at fault here. You are being scammed. Make them realize they're being fucking scammed. Get the fuck angry with them. Get the police, involved if you have to. And just sort of like be like, look, this person's being fucking scammed, and make them realize, because it can't go on forever. And it won't go on forever. Scammers eventually sometimes do give up, but that's only when they've bled you dry of every single motherfucking thing that you have. This person in my family is expecting some money. And because this person is a kind person, thought they'd met somebody genuine, they've told the scammer about the money that they're expecting, and so naturally this cunt is going to hang on for it. Well, he isn't for long, because I'm hoping that I can get up there. I'm hoping that this person keeps their promise that they've promised their relative this morning, that they're going to get out of this fucking scamming relationship and and get on with their life. I really do. I hope they're going to do it, and I'm the one who's going to step in and actually help them to the best of my abilities to get rid of them. Because, ain't nobody going to fuck with me, I'm not having it, especially when it's a family member. If it was my mother or something, I would be sort of like, "What? You need to fucking, I'd get angry. I'd get really, really fucking angry. But there you go. It's just sort of like some things that happen. Things are sent to try her in this life, but God willing, she will listen to her son and hopefully she can piece back her family. All I hope is it's not too late, because she has a daughter who's not, well, two daughters who aren't speaking to her. One that is, but feels very fucking sorry for her, and a son who feels like a bit of piggy in the middle because he's been phoning her 4 times a day, making sure she's okay and stuff like that because she's on her own, and feels angry. Feels angry in a way with her, but mostly angry because of all the times that she's had this scammer blocked, been free of this cunt, and then because he's got her phone number, has called again and done his sweet talk bullshit and made her believe again and brought her straight back into the scam again. Something needs to really, really be fucking done about these cunts who do this. But is there the money to do it in the world? Sure there is. Is there the resources to do it? Abso-fucking-lutely. But unfortunately, it's like governments and that have got to spend money to try and catch these people and stuff, and they'd rather put it on a fucking build a fucking gym, or put it on a statue or something that isn't no fucking good to no one. Go in the fucking bin, you cunt. Bollocks, you can stay there. So I'm just hoping that it all works out for this family member of mine. I really do. And yeah, I wanted to come on here tonight to warn people of the dangers of sort of like scams, what kind of scams are out there, and what a romance scam looks like from somebody who's been hearing about it since basically May. It's a terrible fucking thing. And it's, nobody, not even the most horrible fucking person in the world deserve to be fucking scammed. They really don't. It's all a matter of sort of like, all they're after is money at the end of the day, these people. And the thing about it is everybody needs money, but these cunts are rolling in the stuff because they want, and except Joe Biden, well, that is one, yeah. These people are just wanting your money and they're not real. Please do not fall for, I'm going to be getting off here soon. Please, though, do not ever buy into their bullshit, please. As somebody who's basically watched this happen, I'm begging you, do not let this happen to you. Do not let it happen to a family member. Please be vigilant at all times, especially if somebody on Facebook or any other social media platform contacts you and wants to basically talk to you and they look like too much of a good thing. Because that's how this one started. Looks like too much of a good thing, and basically there's the tail of the tape. So, you got to be really, really fucking cautious. They don't love you. They don't love your family member. They love what they can get out of them. How much money they can get out of them this time. Like I said, with my family member, it started off at 150 quid. And then it went to 200. And then 500. And they've now lost £3,500 to this person. To this person who's never going to be there. This person who has been feeding them false hope, feeding them lies all this time. And it needs to stop. And it needs to fucking stop now. Boston says, don't worry, brother, I'll never let it happen to me, and I won't let it happen to anybody I know. That's really good, bro. If it ever does arise and, somebody does try it on, I expect the Boston way to come out, and I expect you to tell them straight up, these scammers to fuck right off out of it. Now, before I go here tonight, I do actually have a message for all of these scammers in the world. Hello, how you doing? My name is formerly Flawless, but you can call me your worst fucking nightmare. Yeah, so just to let you know, scammers out there, you're pieces of shit. You're pieces of dog shit on the bottom of people's shoes. You have no life. You have no friends. You certainly have no penis. So, what makes you think that you are, what makes you think that you can randomly target a person and get money? Don't you have any self-respect? Or was your mother that much of a whore that she raised you to be a cunt? I'm going to go with the latter. So, yeah. Basically, you fucking assholes, why don't you just quit what you're fucking doing and do what other people do? There's these things out there where you can get money. It's called a job. And that's a really, really fantastic concept. I don't know if you scammers out there have heard of it, but what you do, right, and this is really good, you get up in the morning, right? You go into your bathroom, you brush your teeth, you do your hair, you scrub your bollocks, right? You wipe your ass. You get your fucking breakfast down you get your shoes on, you get your coat on, you get the fuck out there and earn your fucking money instead of being a little cunt stuck behind a telephone, a telephone, a computer screen, whatever the fuck it is, and being sort of, and then sort of like wondering, who can we target today? Who's going to give me money today? No one's going to give you money, cunt face. Do you know why? Because you don't fucking deserve it. And, oh yeah, another thing about you lot, I've also heard our scammer friends out there, male and female, that if you don't get what you want, you turn nasty. Yeah. Why don't you fucking flip the tables around, you dumb cunts, and fucking look at yourself in the mirror and realize what the fuck you are doing to people? You scammers out there are nothing. You are useless. You are pieces of shit. You are, and you were brought up by some fucking backstreet fucking whore. Okay? And at the end of the day, you were brought up by some backstreet bitch who doesn't fucking even know how to raise a child, let alone, I'm surprised she could fucking conceive one. And also, as for your daddy, well, that motherfucker, while your mother was at home being a fucking slut, he was out there banging other women, and things like that. So that's why you've turned out to be the cunt and the piece of shit that you actually fucking are. So, mic drop on you, bitches. Go fuck yourselves. And, I hope you enjoy doing it at the same time. You probably do go fuck yourself anyway, don't you? You little cunts you little bastards are stuck there, 24/7, stuck behind a computer or on a phone, giving false hope and false promises to vulnerable people that you probably don't have a partner. You probably do go fuck yourself. Make sure though you don't use your dialing wrist, all right? Or, or you don't hurt your hand when you're having a good old fucking tug, And also, for the love of God, I know what scammers are like. Trust me, right? I know what scammers are like. For the love of God, please don't have your phone near you when you're wanking off. And, just before you fucking spurt, don't get it into your keypad. Otherwise, you're going to have to get a new phone, aren't you? And then your scam might not work so well, mightn't it? Yeah. To all scammers out there, you are nothing, you are useless, you are wankers, you can go fuck yourselves, the lot of you. You are pieces of shit. Why don't you go? I mean, I can't say anything really bad on here, on YouTube, but you get the gist where I'm coming from. Scammers, 2 middle fingers up, but a massive fuck you to each and every single one of you. So there you have it. Another fantastic rant here on the channel, which hasn't been here in a long fucking time. But it needed all to be fucking said. And if you think I was too rude about it, or you shouldn't be talking like that on YouTube, you can go fuck yourself as well. You know, at the end of the day, I've had a family member who's been scammed, and I'm very, very angry about it. I want to help them, and I'm hoping they're going to keep their promise and let me help them, and that'll be the end of it. I'm hoping and I'm praying for that. Because I've lost enough now, and I've seen the damage that it's been doing to their family. I really have. I've seen the damage. I've seen everything what's been going on, and it's really, really hard to look at, hard to watch. Some people you care about go through this kind of shit. It really is. So yeah, before I end it here tonight, you know, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that and let a bit of anger out there, but also let the truth out as well, because hey, scammers can't take the truth. Hello, Pam. Scammers can't take the fucking truth. They really can't. And the person who's been targeting my mum, Mr. Dave Emplet, I've actually got a list on my phone of the other names that they use his picture. There might be different scammers. Let me just... Oh, I can't get the picture up because my sister's blocked me. Yeah. I had a bit of an argument with my sister, and I told her to go, you know, and yeah, that's a completely different thing. No, I've only popped on tonight, Pam, to do a basic live stream. I'm actually about to go in a few minutes, but the long and short of it, to catch you up, Pam, unless you want to rewatch this later, a family member of mine has been involved in a romance scam, and you know, it's basically, you know, destroyed their family. Basically, I've tried to help them. Everybody else has tried to help them, and yeah, it's been difficult. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, and yeah, they've been scammed out of $3,500. But this scammer who has been involved in it has been trying to get more out of them. Money they don't have. Like, they apparently work on an oil rig, and they were going to end their contract early, which I don't think you can do. And they wanted my family member to send £7,500 in Apple gift cards to them, so they could get a helicopter to get to Oslo Airport to get a flight to where they needed to be to have a happy life. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's all in this live stream. So, yeah, unless YouTube's wokies fucking delete this thing, hopefully it'll still be up. And, yeah, that's basically the tale of the tape. I'm not back by any stretch of the imagination. I'm awful. Yeah, it really is. I'm not back on YouTube. But I literally put a £10 fucking card on my PlayStation today, so I could do this, you know, this live stream tonight, because enough is enough, and the truth has to be said. And I mean, I've had talking points in the past that have been either funny or something that's pissed me off or something, like the lottery fuckers. Remember them? But you know, this has actually been a quite serious one tonight. Although I will say one thing. As you guys know, I recently moved house, right? That's why you may hear a bit of an echo on this live stream video, whatever you're watching it on. And do you remember me talking about a neighbour of mine, an old neighbour at my old house who used to laugh like, right? I no longer live near this woman, okay? And yet the other night she phoned me through Facebook to ask if I would go and do a bike wheel for her. Nice one. She asked if I would go and do a bike wheel for her. I thought, I am not leaving my fucking new house to ride basically to where my old house is to fit a fucking bike wheel for you. Go fuck yourself. No, that don't work with me. I ain't fucking doing that. She can fucking find some other sucker to do it. That's another sort of subject for another time. People who use people. But there you go. Well, that's also scammers as well. But I think we've had enough heard enough about them for the night. But my final word to everybody out there is please be so fucking careful. There's so many different types of scams about The person in my family has been involved in a romance scam, but there's scams where sort of like people get a fake email through saying they need to ring up this company because there's been a charge on their account and they don't know what it is, and for them to correct it, you need to send more fucking money. There's the classic one where you pick up the phone and there's some cunt on the other end of the phone going, "Hello, there's something wrong with your computer. We're from Microsoft." No, they're not. There are so many other scams out there. So whatever you do, protect yourself, online at all times. Because I would honestly hate to see, anyone out there, anyone who watches this, to, be scammed in any way, shape or form. Because at the end of the day, it's not, it's not fair and it's not right, and these cunts need to be taken down. They really do. So yeah, just to let you know, basically to do a stream on it, to let some steam off, and also to basically warn you about the dangers, because my family member, is, like I said, fucking two of her daughters aren't talking to her through this because it's made them quite ill. The worry of it has made them quite ill. So yeah, their son's just about fucking, one daughter, she's got 3 daughters, 1 son. 2 of them aren't talking to her. 1 feels really sorry for her but feels helpless. And her son is phoning her every single day, making sure she's all right, and hoping and praying that she's going to stick to her word and get rid of this guy before he contacts again, because at some point we know he will contact again, and then the sweet talk will come in, and then it'll be sort of like, back to square one. So I'm hoping that, because her son can't do it, he has no idea what he's doing, so I'm going to step in and help my family member get rid of this scammer, and I'm hoping to do that as soon as I possibly can. But yes, I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It's been a pretty big subject tonight, an actual serious subject tonight as well. Not like the topics I used to do. Like, I went to the supermarket today and saw, and got pissed off at the fag counter because there was 2 people fucking, having a chat and fucking while I was standing there, and there was some cunt fucking won a fucking lottery or something, So yeah, thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. So yes, I'm going to head on out now. This hopefully will be the last live stream, unless something else happens. But yeah, to all of you who have watched this one, thank you. To everybody out there who, to everybody out there who has watched, thank you. But please listen to my words, and please, I'm begging you guys out there, please protect yourself online at all times. Don't fall for any bullshit. If you start talking to somebody and they seem genuine, all well and good. But if they ask you for money of any kind, whether it be PayPal, gift card, any form, get rid as soon as possible, because it's a scam. Right. Thank you guys for watching. And even though I'm not going to be back, I'm going to give a quick shout out to my brother from another mother, Mr. Boston Tea Party. Go sub to his channel because, he's absolutely awesome and amazing and has great content. And also, my sister from another mister, that's Pam's Game TV 2000. She is the queen of House Flipper, and she will always be the queen of House Flipper. And also a really, really wonderful, genuine person as well. So please go sub to her. Get their numbers up. Get them a few subs because they truly deserve it. Pam says, thanks for streaming. Thank you for coming in, Pam. I appreciate it. Boston says, thank you. You're more than welcome, my brother. So, yes, I'm going to go now. Thank you all for watching. I wish you a good night. And God bless each and every single one of you. Take care. Good night, people.